Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. So today's deck is going to be Nami Twisted Fate Shadow Owls. This deck is a deck that was popularized by Drizztov way back like 7 months ago, back when Nami used to actually give health as well as power, right? So this deck was really good back then because you could make your elusives as strong as possible with extra health and just push a lot of damage. Before Nami Ionia was a thing, I would say that Nami Shadow Owls was one of the strongest decks out there, as well as Nami PNC. Nami was always problematic until she got nerfed. Now, after Nami's nerf, it's a little bit weird to really get to play Nami because even though you can buff your elusives really high with a lot of power, they don't get that health anymore, so they're a lot more vulnerable to removal. However, Shelly didn't get nerfed, so we can still play Shelly and be able to give our elusive +1 health. And this deck still has a lot of tools to actually be able to trigger double spells for Shelly. Now, the reason that I'm showcasing this deck is one of our viewers, Small Emu, actually suggested it to us because he keeps showing up in the stats as a deck that does really well. And I can see why, because with this combination of Shadow Owls and PNC, you have access to things like Heavy Metal and Quietus, which are the best two removals for equipment in the game, while also being able to play things like Vengeance. So you end up kind of having like a pseudo control tool, and the access to the elusives means that you actually do decent against those Aatrox Bane decks. So I can see why this deck does well. Now, the version that seems to be doing well in the European server is playing Gohards. I opted to go away from the Gohards and kind of go for a style that's a little bit more controlly. I am still trying out the really new fish though. It is one of the new elusives that was released in the most recent expansion. I like it because it already comes with 3 health, which means that it's very hard for opponents to be able to remove it already. So if you're able to buff this just a bit with Nami, it becomes a really threatening elusive that the opponent has to deal with. And it could potentially help us level up Twisted Fate or make our potential Ibaros even stronger. We have a lot of cheap spells, so a lot of times we don't care about attacking with the new fish once we're really like on turn 5 or 6, because we'll be able to play whatever we draw from, unless you're drawing like Harrowing or Vengeance. So this deck is still the same. You're just controlling the board as much as you can early on, and then just finishing the game by buffing your elusives as big as possible with Shelly, Burblefish, Neopfish, Nami, etc. Sometimes you get to level up Twisted Fate, but Twisted Fate is very tough to level up in this meta when you have so much removal. I am trying out one Darkin Harpoon as well. I love this card ever since I played it on T Twisted Fate Gohar. I still think it's worth trying out a lot as a one-off, because Ibarus can sometimes finish up some games if the opponent is not careful, or at the very least become like a really big stat unit that the opponent has a hard time punching through. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today's games on this control archetype combined with elusive, and if you do, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post our videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some Mulligan tips. In this match, we're going against Red Gwen. So we have a lot of like cheap removal, which could be nice. At the same time though, it's not hard for the opponent to just be able to kind of outvalue us. I like this hand though. With triple Balfies might be a little too crazy. Oh, triple Balfies might be a little bit too much. I wonder if I just take, like, I have to just pass next turn, right? Try to level up the Nami, or do I need to just pass? We didn't get a double trouble. I mean, we already did Mulligan 2 cards away, so maybe we should be more aggressive towards the double trouble or the Twisted Fate. I kind of like keeping double Balfies for a potential Katarina. So maybe it's correct to at least keep the Balfies back, because that way we can deal with Katarina when she drops down. Okay, that's the double trouble. I'm willing to pass here. I'm willing to take another 3 damage, just so that we can kind of get Nami leveled up as soon as possible. Okay, I'm not willing to take. I'm not willing to let this Redeem Prodigy stay alive that much. So let's just go like this. Let's just push the 1 damage. My concern is that if I actually commit for the Balfies on the Prodigy, then obviously that means that I'm not having the double Balfies for the Katarina. I'm also okay with this because we can always block, right? If the opponent open attacks, I think I'm also fine with this.
No kills, no
Yeah, we just Battle Feast here. We just Battle Feast here. Opponent cool glimpse. Let's stop the damage. Let's stop the damage and give ourselves a blocker for the rearguard next turn. Kinda sucks though. I kinda would have preferred not to have to do this. But I feel like I don't want to... Yeah, because again, we're back in that spot where I really want to be able to kill Katarina and I'm not going to be able to. I think I pass. I think I pass first. If it's Gwen... We could go coral creatures into double trouble. Yeah, we can go coral creatures. Maybe not even the double trouble. Maybe we just play the Darkening Harpoon. Or now we can just play the Jailbreak. I kinda dig it. I kinda dig the Harpoon. Because we can go like this, and this is gonna give me an extra draw. Opponent could block with their Phantom Butler, but we still have another Battle Feast, and we have a blocker here for the rear guard. We get 2, so this is gonna be a 6, and we're only gonna need 1 more because the enemy Tomb gets us to 7. We don't have anything that's so expensive that we wouldn't be able to play in next turn. The only awkward part is gonna be Vengeance. And I guess Harrowing. We don't play Ruination, so their Harrowing is gonna be kind of a problem for us. They're thinking if they want to block with the Phantom Butler, by the way. I think I let them have it. Let them have it. We still have a Battle Piece for the other unit, right? We don't have a Battle Piece for this one, though. Opponent's going first. Opponent has a very aggressive curve. Of course, we talked about it, right? Vengeance is a really awkward one here. And of course, this ends up being what we end up getting. But fortunately for us, opponent actually gives us a good Vengeance target here. We're gonna sacrifice the 2 damage. Right, so we're gonna sacrifice that 2 damage from the Gwen. Unfortunately, we ended up getting a really low value unit. Yeah, unfortunately, we ended up getting a low value unit. I don't even want to block with it. Because if any other unit, we can trade with the rear guard. I think I have to just accept that though. Let's go Nami. Let's go Nami. If the opponent has access to Eternal Dancers, I'm kind of sad. We double trouble potentially. Another Gwen. Still double trouble then, right? Still double trouble. Still gives this +1. Nami levels up next turn. We have blockers for days. Why Battle Feast your own unit? I don't get it. I don't get it. What does that do for them? Why Battle Feast your own unit? What does that do for them?
I will save my people.
Is there something I'm missing? Is there something that I'm missing? We take 2 from Gwen here. Sure. We don't even need to take 2 anymore from Gwen. We can actually crumble. Why don't we crumble?
Let the tide carry you.
Yeah, why don't we crumble here?
Ride the surging tide.
Get rid of the Gwen so that we don't take 2 damage for free. And we still have Battle Feast and we have blockers for the other 2. So we can still Battle Feast, we still have blockers. I don't even need to Battle Feast anymore, I can just go here. Save my Battle Feast for later. I gotta go for this. Okay, my concern now is Harrowing, right? So Harrowing is gonna be a big deal because he's bringing back double Gwen. So if the opponent has access to Harrowing, that's gonna be really problematic for us. We do have plenty of blockers though, so we might be able to be okay. So we have a decent number of blockers. We ended up getting all elusives. We don't have lethal, right? Tenno Dancers is a problem. We don't have lethal. I kind of want to make sure that I play this card out. I want to make sure that I have enough mana to play this card out, so I don't want to play this Harpoon. I don't want to play Quietus and give the opponent more space for a Harrowing. So I think I'm just going to play Aina Kaboros and just draw here. Heavy Metal, Shelly. Yeah, I don't want to give them more space for Harrowing stuff. Harrowing means that we actually are very close to losing. Because he's going to be guaranteed 6 damage from the Gwens, right? But we can stun the Eternal Dancer now so that we don't actually we take some less damage here. Yeah, that's the Harrowing that we were talking about. So because we ended up joining the Twisted Fate, we can stun the Eternal Dancers.
Never lost a fair game.
We still take the damage from the Gwens, but we have plenty of blockers. And we can even play Ibarros next turn and try to win through Ibarros. Opponent doesn't have any great blockers for the Ibarros. Yeah, opponent's even giving us the spider. Do I actually...
Move aside, small fry.
Do I give him this new fish or do I just play the bow piece? I'm gonna play the bow piece. It's kind of awkward though. I might not want to play it. I might not play the bow piece. I might just go like this, play the Shelly. Play the Ibarros next turn. We have 3 mana left, allowing me to get some value here.
We'll make something totally new.
Opponent's gonna have to find a blocker that can stop the Ibarros. We survived the Harrowing, which is the biggest thing I was worried about. We probably could have gotten lethal with our elusives. But I think I'm gonna commit. Okay, opponent doesn't have a good blocker for Ibarros. So if the opponent doesn't have a unit that could kill this, they're gonna be in trouble. Maybe we even play the Birdwolfish first. See what we get before we commit for the Ibarros. Because we could potentially try to finish with elusives instead. Ah, okay, so that gives them... I can only be blocked by enemies with 4 or more power. So this does have 4 power. So the Ibarros no longer gets us there. If that's the case, then we're looking to just commit lethal here with my other stuff then, right? So we're no longer going for the Ibarros play because the opponent ended up getting a unit. So if that's the case, we can go here. The problem with the Battle Feast is that the Battle Feast means... Yeah, because we can kill all their blockers, right? We can kill all their blockers. We can kill the Eternal Dancers here with the Battle Feast plus the Parley. I wanna leave the Battle Feast for last, but then that's a mistake because we didn't get the value from the Shelly buffing the Spiderling. It's fine. We get to play our whole hand out here. We get rid of both the host and this.
Let the tide carry you.
And we have lethal, because we have a much wider board than the opponent. Unfortunately, you have to do each one at a time, opponent. Sorry about that. We can put the Harpoon on the Shelly. And this should get us. Yeah, this should get us there no matter what. Alright. Oh, we should have also... Okay, we messed up by putting the TF first, because he can get blocked by the Reckoner. But it's fine, because this is still 21 damage at the best. I would have loved to see the Ibarros win, right? But opponent top deck a proper blocker for it. So couldn't actually get the Ivaros win. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Kindred Ashe. And Kindred is always a little bit risky for us. And now we also now have to also deal with Quietus. And that's also very annoying to deal with. Honestly, I don't think I need the Nami. I don't think I need the Nami this early. I think I'm looking for Shelly. Quietus doesn't do much in this matchup. I guess he does, actually. It does beat their Wolf. It does beat their Wolf, so that's actually better than I thought. We're just passing, right? It's gonna be a passing game. Twisted Fate never sees the light of day in this matchup. There's the Wolf. There's the Quietus. Yeah, Twisted Fate is always gonna die in this matchup. So the best that we can do is keep Twisted Fate for like a gold card into a battle feast to be able to kill Kindred or Ashe.
All the world on one
Opponent gifts it to us. So we gold card, we battle feast, and we get an Ashe out of the way. Let's get her out right now. They have Troshan, okay. They have the Troshan, they have the Troshan. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. We're gonna attack with both. Because we have access to the Shadow Out Tailstones. I wanna bait out the freeze. Opponent doesn't go for it. Because I had the freeze, I wanted to bait out the freeze. But opponent did not take the bait. What if we go miss? The problem again is that the opponent easily, like very easily, has access to Quietus, right? So like I'm just lost my second Twisted Fate, and the opponent could just Quietus to get rid of us. Not only that, but Twisted Fate is gonna die here, right? That's a great. Problem is that I want to use both of this, but heavy metal is great here. I'm okay with this, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go like this, knowing that I have Battle Feast to pop that Ashe. And opponent cannot level her up. And even if they have a second Troll Shell, we can heavy metal after. Okay?
Nothing escapes my watch.
My concern is the fact that I don't have like a really good heavy board presence. I don't want to play anything. I'm gonna let this go. Okay, well, I guess we'll go here then. Let's get rid of this wolf now while we have the chance. Yeah, let's get rid of this wolf now. For a second bio. Opponent has another Ashe in their hand now. So we have to deal with that. We have the Vengeance to deal with it. We have blockers that we're gonna be able to do stuff about. Let the opponent play their Ashe with Vengeance.
Faster than my arrow? I think
So we
not.
Vengeance the Ashe. Now we're looking for Shelly, Nami, etc. Opponent probably has their Vengeance and other removal tools. As long as they don't have Entomb. Okay. We could go Crumble, but he's losing to a Battle Feast. So if we're gonna go Crumble, we need to have Coral Creatures so that we can actually crumble and destroy the landmark, right? This is so tempting. This is so tempting. Probably the best time to do it was now. But it's too good in other stuff, right? I need to wait for the opponent to tap out of like... Opponent did tap out of the Vengeance, right? So can we just go like this? Opponent should have a way to kill this. We destroy the second Ashe, and we still have access to Anakaboros. We can Glimpse instead of Eye.
For the homestead.
But again, I'm kind of concerned about the Battle Feast. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about the Battle Feast. I also don't want to kill this Sentry. I'm gonna go Anakaboros. Since the opponent ended up not pulling, it means that we can go like this. and just block both of these. We don't give them the draw from the Sentry. The new fish is actually pretty good because it lets me draw. Don't want to play the Burblefish until we have like a Shelly in the field or a Nami, so that we beat like a Quietus. We get the Shelly. We get the Shelly. This loses to a Biofeast. What if we start with the new fish first? And then Shelly. And then Burblefish, right? Because if the opponent goes like this, I guess we can Glimpse now instead. I think I prefer the Glimpse now. It still gives me the draw. It's forcing out a Vengeance here, which the opponent doesn't go for. That's a huge draw. That's a huge draw for later. Opponent could have Harrowing. Something tells me that this Shell is gonna die as soon as she comes down. Alternatively, we can go Ibarros. I think I have to be okay sacrificing this Shelly. I have to be okay sacrificing this Shelly.
A chill in the air.
That's a little bit unfortunate, because the opponent's gonna have access to... If it's Quietus, I get punished, right? If it's Quietus, I get punished. If it's the... It is Quietus, okay. I guess I don't get fully punished yet. I could go like all in on the Shadowed Out Tailstones. Like, couldn't I go like this, Spirit Journey? And that keeps the Shelly alive? Opponent's gonna have to commit a Vengeance? And that's their second Quietus, so it makes this Harpoon a lot safer to play. If the opponent plays for the Vengeance here, I think I'm chilling with that. Because I want to get the draw from the Harpoon, right? I want to get this draw from the Harpoon. It just feels very awkward to do it. Feels really awkward to do this draw for Harpoon. Like, I kind of feel like I need to just take this attack and slowly whittle the opponent down. Because it's too easy for them to have like another removal spell to actually stop my Harpoon attack from going through. They also could have Ruination, right? Yeah, so they're gonna just Shatter. So now we can just play the Harpoon on it, so that it's now frozen, right? So we can play the Harpoon, that way it gets 1 damage. My concern is Ruination. That's why I don't want to play this Nami out until the opponent kind of taps out of answers. Shatter again. Do I have to play around Ruination? I guess if the opponent plays the Ruination, they lose their whole board.
I will drive back the darkness.
And we can have the Ibarros for next turn. We could also just play the second Spirit Journey. Vengeance? Yeah, I like the Spirit Journey. I like the Spirit Journey. It buffs everything up and keeps my Nami in the field. Unfortunately, we are not able to play... We could get Coral Creatures here to get another spell, and then we can play Bilgewater Tailstones plus the Jettison. Freeze again. But like, you know I just drew a spell. Wow, losing double Burblefish is kind of rough though. Yeah, losing the double Burblefish is kind of rough. So you know I have a spell, so you know that I can do this. I don't even feel like giving them the draw, but I might just have to give it to them now. Yeah, I might just have to give them the draw now. I think we're big enough that we can just win next turn. They have the Glimpse anyway, so they take the draw anyways. So they have 3 cards now. They still lose their unit. We could have always played the Heavy Metal on it, but I'm kind of being greedy with my Heavy Metal and saving it for other stuff. I need to open attack. So that I get the value from here and I play around a Ruination or also a second Archer, right? Opponent's gonna have to have more Flash Freezes or Harsh Winds to be able to actually deal with this. But at the very least, I get my draw and I clear their board. Ibaros is gonna be a real threat later on. Ashe is a problem, but not really as long as I have Nami in the field. So as long as I have Nami in the field, I don't think Ashe is a problem. We can always also play the Coral Creatures after the opponent commits to the Crystal Arrow next turn. Giving myself another unit. Arrowing is such a good draw. Right? It's such a good draw, but not the draw that we're looking for. We can just chill. Yeah, we can just chill. Because we can play the Coral Creatures. Opponent doesn't even have enough pressure to actually kill us. Like, that's actually the worst card we could have gotten from the Ibaros. Yeah, the Coral Creatures. This 16. This is 16.
They're out there.
So the opponent had a chance. The opponent had a chance there to actually present lethal. But now because they did like this, I can buff my whole board again. So we can go like this and get rid of this guy. I guess Shelly doesn't get buffed just yet. So Shelly doesn't get buffed, but the rest of my board does. This is 12, 16, 18. But now we also have access to this and we have blockers everywhere. So it's never going to be enough anymore. Okay, opponent might actually get there because we didn't get any fast speed spell. Because we didn't get any fast speed spell, opponent might... They get to block, and then we're gonna have to block with these two cards, which is enough, right? So this is still enough for me to block with. Even if they have a Brittle Steel, we still keep one blocker. If they didn't develop here, maybe, but if they didn't develop, then they'll have lethal. So that's why they had no choice but to develop. So they had no choice but to develop, but it does mean that we're able to just chill. Do we sacrifice Nami at this point? Do we sacrifice the Nami at this point?
Move aside, small fry.
I guess I might as well, to be honest. Yeah, I might as well just sacrifice Nami at this point. We go down to 8, we play Twisted Fate. Get another draw here. Go blue card, see what we get. We can also go to Twisted Fate, pick a card on the Harrowing. Go super wide. We get a second Nami, so we can actually do both now. We can play Nami and pick a card, and that wins us the game.
I'm counting on you, Admiral.
There's absolutely nothing that you can do here anymore because we ended up getting multiple champions. All right, we got there. A little bit dicey, but we got there. I don't think opponent has anything that can actually get them there because they have to deal with a lot of cards here. So they have to deal with a lot of cards here, including the Vengeance and 2 Elusives, and yeah. Took me a while, but we were able to actually find the line. Have to survive through all the different Ashe, but yeah, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Nasus Kindred. We have Vengeance, which is very nice against their like Nasus and stuff. Battle Feast might actually not be bad. Honestly, this whole hand looks good for me. Like Shelly's really important for this deck. I think at this point, even more important than Nami. So I'm willing to go for this. I'm willing to go for this. I just slowly whittle them down. We even get Nami now too. Man, the lack of Nami health does really matter. I'm not gonna lie. It's a big deal not to have her health. Yeah, we have a really good hand. We have really good hand. The problem with playing Nami here is that we're losing to a Quietus, right? So I'm just gonna play the Anakaboros so that we can actually advance the Nami a little bit further and also get a nice draw. Problem with this is that it taps me out of Vengeance for the Kindred next. The opponent actually just went for a Glimpse though, so I guess that's okay. I guess that's okay then. Gets the Quietus. That's why we didn't want to play Nami this turn. Because the Nami would have just died to the Quietus. That's one Quietus out of the way. Kindred is concerning here. Like, very concerning here. What if we just play the second Nami out? And if the opponent has Quietus, I'm okay with that. Or we could just play Bow Feast. Or we could just draw. I'm gonna go for the draw. My concern is Kindred now, but this gives me the mana to be able to Vengeance the Kindred. Like, if the opponent has exactly Kindred here, I'm in trouble, right? Because they could have Kindred into the zero drop. Oh, that's great. That's amazing. That's what I want to see. The problem is that this developed on my TF did slow me down from leveling up Nami. But with the double throat, I think we're fine. I think I'll take that, right? Do we ever just Wreck-Car? Do we ever just Wreck-Car?
Deal me in.
Stop them from having a board that they can just slam and kill. Nami's still behind, but then we can just develop the Shelly. We're taking 8 damage. We take 8 damage, and we're okay with that. We're okay with that, right? Let's double trouble first. That still gives me mana for Vengeance and a Kindred. Use the win. Opponent's not playing like they have Kindred in their hands, so I think I can just assume that they don't have it. Let's just go for the Shelly. Force the opponent to kill the Shelly. They're not gonna kill it, so I'm gonna play Nami next turn. Nami gets leveled up. We also have access now to the Nami spell. That's a lot of Undying, though. It's a lot of Undying and a lot of last wins. But the problem is that the opponent's last win is now gonna actually die to all my stuff. Like, I can actually block the last wins. Their Nasus is also... I guess their Nasus is decently big. Because the opponent has been able to play last win over and over again.
I'm counting on you, Admiral.
So that is a little bit concerning. I kind of feel like healing. I kind of feel like this is fine. This is pushing a lot of damage if we make everything have 3 power. And I don't dislike the heal. Losing mana from the Vengeance is a little bit awkward. What if we just pass here? What if we just pass here? Knowing that we have ways to stop anything they want to do. Because I don't feel like trading with this last wins just yet and have the opponent just commit Nasus. I might have been better to actually... Okay, there's the Nasus, right? So, opponent ended up going for the Nasus anyways. Let's go ahead and I guess just push my 4 damage here. My 3 damage here. Do I want to play the Ebb on the Flow? I think I do. I think I'm gonna play the Ebb on the Flow.
My people can't wait much longer. Rise with the surf.
Because even though we're losing on a trigger for the Shelly, it's gonna make it so that my units here are gonna be able to just get rid of their stuff, right? We don't get the 1 mana spell that we wanted. We can also block that Nasus. So we can also block that Nasus.
Let the tide carry you.
This is gonna be 6, 7, 8. I need to go.
Rise with the surf.
I don't want to tap out. I don't want to tap out, right? I don't want to tap out. If we block like this, we're not losing to these guys. The problem is that this is always gonna level. Unless I commit this.
Let the tide carry you. Rise with the surf.
Right? That way the opponent only gets value by killing 2 of my units. But they could have access to Atrocity now, and that makes me really sad. So do we just sacrifice this guys and just clear the whole board? I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with this game plan. I think Shelly did his job. And even if the opponent levels up Nasus this turn, we can always just tap it. Because we needed to block with everything. Because if the opponent has Atrocity, they have a way to commit lethal. Like if we didn't block here and we let this through, that's 3 damage, and then Atrocity on the Nasus. I guess that would have been 1 damage off, unless the opponent also has like a glimpse on top of it. Losing the Elusive sucked, but I mean Nami and the rest of our board should take care of the rest of their board, right? So they go like this, we go here, and we're chilling.
Ride the surging tide.
There we go. They lose their whole board. We play the Burblefish, and we should be okay. I guess we have the chance of losing this. We have the chance of losing this Draven's biggest fan. Gohar is kind of funny. We got a second Nasus. Wow. I kind of feel... Okay, so let me think about this. 5 plus 6 is 11, right? And we have exactly 11. So we can just go Aina Kaboros and Vengeance as a backup for Atrocity.
Rise with the surf.
So we can go Aina Kaboros and Vengeance as a backup for Atrocity. We go here, go here. Opponent would love to block Twisted Fate, right? But if we leave Twisted Fate back at the end, then the opponent is not able to block Twisted Fate and reduce their damage. They go for the Atrocity, we commit with the Vengeance, we win the game. That's why we kept exactly 6 mana. Opponent doesn't have enough for Atrocity plus Riot Negation because they just used the Riot Negation last turn. So, because they want to block the Twisted Fate, right? They want to block the Twisted Fate. There's the Atrocity, we Vengeance, and that's game. As long as we stopped the Nasus from leveling last turn, it ended up working out for us. Maybe the way that we did it was a little bit janky. Because the way that like, we could have done it in such a way that we could have just put on the Elusives instead of putting it on the unit that we did it on. But I didn't want to do the math in my head, to be honest, so I just kind of rushed it and put it on my biggest unit, even though it will have the risk of not working out for us. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Teemo Jinx. So this is going to be Champion Strength. So this Twisted Fate is going to be very critical. Battlefield is also very good. I like the Admiral Shelly. I like this whole hand. The Admiral Shelly, Battle Feast, Nami, we just need to keep their board clear enough, and this allows me to do that, right? Especially Twisted Fate to clear the whole board. It was a little bit annoying early on, but again, we have the Battle Feast, so I'm not too concerned about it. We can just pass again, because that way we can start leveling up the Nami. Quietus is not bad either. Depending on what the opponent does here, I might just set it up so that we can kill everything. Like, I might just ignore everything that doesn't have... You know, I'm gonna play this Quietus now. I'm gonna play this Quietus now. Because that has more than 1 HP, so it's not gonna die to Twisted Fate. And if the opponent has the 2-mana spell, I don't want that to get like extra health, right?
I'll scout ahead.
Question is here, do I actually Battle
For my
Feast?
collection.
I guess not anymore, right? Opponent's gonna actually level up the Teemo. So opponent's gonna level up the Teemo. We can go Battle Feast. Now we can Quietus, right? We're gonna Quietus. I would have loved to play... I don't even know if I play Twisted Fate anymore. I think I'm just gonna play Nami.
Come on, people. Let's make tomorrow
Huh,
today.
okay, opponent's telling me, hey, go ahead and play Twisted Fate on me, huh? Because the thing is that I could play Twisted Fate, but then the opponent's gonna have their Jinx, and the Jinx is gonna be very annoying to deal with. Let's just go like this. Let's just go like this. If the opponent has Jinx, they can have it. They still need a lot to be able to actually get to kill us with Jinx. I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna pass. Not give them the chance to play Jinx. Now we also have a Vengeance. We do have a lot of shrooms, which is kind of annoying.
Remember, we're the ones who make progress
I
happen.
need to kill this Jinx. Okay, opponent doesn't have it, I guess.
Rise with the surf.
Let's Battle Feast now. Let's Battle Feast now. The shrooms are adding a lot of damage, actually. Like a lot of damage.
Looks like trouble.
Let's attack. Okay, so that tells me no Jinx. Let's go ahead and go for the Shelly. That's the Inspiring Light. So that's the Inspiring Light that I was playing around earlier in the game when I kept talking about it. I need some healing though. This is getting really problematic. Champion Strength with Vengeance.
Let the tide carry you.
That way my Twisted Fate stays alive. We can play the Coral Creatures now. We're gonna level up Twisted Fate because of the Ironakaboros. Nami is leveled up as well, so we're gonna start potentially pushing a lot of damage here, especially with Shelly on top of it. Sure. Go ahead and kill this guy. I can do one more spell.
No kills, no entry.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and do it like this. That way I can make it, if the opponent decides to attack again, they actually are gonna just lose their baboon as well. Makes sense to do it though. This gives me the kill an ally to yeah, let's go here. We go Admiral Shelly. We have a lot of value. Don't think I'm anywhere close to actually dying anymore. We can play a second Burble Fish now. Let's start with the Shelly and just get the full value from the Shelly buffing everything up, right? So we can go Blood Bay and here. I guess this is kind of annoying though, because I have to kill one of my Burble Fish.
Let the tide carry you.
So if we go like this.
Ride the surging tide.
But this should still be lethal, right? This should still be lethal because we have damage everywhere else. The Caustic Grip is an interesting tag. I don't know if I agree with it, but sure. Yeah, this should still be lethal here.
Down.
Yeah, we have the lurk that we're hitting, and that's it. So, unfortunately for the opponent, we are a deck that has a lot of removal, and as long as we kept the board clear from the Champion's Turf, it meant that we were completely fine, so GG's. This matchup, we're going against Norra and Gnar. And this is PNC, so this is going to be probably like a knack attack deck more than anything else. Because we had the double trouble, I'm actually just going to ignore the Coral Creatures and just try to focus on this. That's a great hit towards the Norra. So it lets me kill the Norra at least. We get Harrowing back, not what I'm looking for. I'm wondering if...
Anything helps.
Minimorph, okay. I'm wondering if I need to...
Anything helps.
Alright, I'll take the attack. I wonder if I need to Quietus the Knack attack, right? Like, if the opponent is just all in on the cheap knack attack, then it's probably better to actually Quietus the knack attack than it is to worry about the Norra. It's a changeling deck, huh? I'm also willing to get rid of this. Yeah, I'm also willing to get rid of this because that's gonna become really big as the game kind of goes longer. Might hold this back. Yeah, I might hold this back. Might hold this back as a blocker. Just push damage here. This is gonna become bigger. Opponent's gonna play another changeling. They're probably gonna try to go for like a big do we ever opponent cannot attack here, right? If they attack, they get punished. Yeah, they cannot attack here. I think they just realized that. I'm gonna Battle Feast. I'm gonna Battle Feast and just have a really big attack. Just start pushing a lot of damage. We have access to Mark of the Isles if necessary. We have Double Trouble. If the opponent decides to block this Bakai Reaper, then they're losing to the Heavy Metal, right? Magical Journey. I'm still thinking that it's probably correct to get rid of that Changeling. But I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait it out to see what I draw here. Shelly? Yeah, good thing I didn't use my mana then. There's the knack attack. So now the opponent is looking to... They're looking to transform their stuff, but now they have to worry about me just winning with Elusives, right? They have to worry about me just winning with Elusives, because we also have the Burblefish enable. We're gonna double trouble here. Huh, we got another Doomkeeper. That's kind of funny. I don't want to lose to Pokestick, so I'm just gonna glimpse instead. I'm gonna glimpse the two health unit. I guess we're not losing to it because we're gonna get the buff from this. It's definitely Burblefish. It's definitely Burblefish. Just get more spells. Don't know if the opponent has a way to deal with all these elusives. Oh, that's one way to deal with them. Really? Really? That's one way to deal with them. So let's say that we go like this. I know that the opponent has a blocker here, but at least I'm forcing the block out, right? And they could potentially also lose everything else in their board. And if they lose everything, I think we're in a good spot. Oh, wait, opponent's just gonna lose then, right? So the opponent just loses the game here because it didn't block everything. Not sure about that lack of block. Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with them not blocking everything. Like, I understand trying to keep your knack attack and your changeling alive, but you just put yourself... You're going against a deck with Admiral Shelley on the field already. Like, you know that this is potential to happen. Makes no sense not to block. So, GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's games. It is a control game. It's a control deck, so you kind of saw some games going a little bit of the distance until you kind of get to your win condition. I think it's a... the deck feels good. Like, I think it is a good deck. It's just a little bit inconsistent, right? Because you do need to be able to get those Namis. You need to be able to get the Admiral Shelley, right? Having Shelley kind of makes a lot of difference. And trying to level up Nami can be a little bit awkward sometimes if you don't get the right cards in the right order. I do like the new fish. I think I had some success with it, but just needs also a little bit more practice. At the end of the day, you want to have a lot of spells, especially the Shadow Out Tailstones, so it can be a little bit awkward when you don't actually get there. And it does require a lot of thinking, so it's not an easy deck to pick up. Even in the games that I won, I feel like there was some plays that I could have done better, and the games that I lost definitely was probably some plays that I could have done better to allow us to survive and stabilize. Now, aside from that though, in terms of mulligan, it's pretty straightforward, right? We try to level on Nami early if we can. So you want to keep a double trouble so you can play double trouble on turn 3. That way Nami's already going to be a 6 out of 8 by the time you get to turn 4. But otherwise, you can keep things like Battlefield if you're going against aggro or the opponent has like a cheap removal. Opponent has a unit that you can remove easily. You want to keep Twisted Fate if you feel like you need to stun or red card something. And the core creatures as well if you need some early blocker. Obviously, Quietus and Heavy Metal are premium against things that have equipment, especially Heavy Metal against those Patriot's Banes could really be the difference maker at slowing them down, since he destroys the equipment and also does 2 damage to the unit. So like for example, a Heavy Metal on a Valor that has the Darking Harp kills the Valor and the Darking Harp together, which is so beautiful. So yeah, so just kind of keep that in mind there. But aside from that, it's a control deck, so just play slow, and eventually you get to your win condition if you're able to stabilize and survive long enough, as you saw with some of the games that we ended up winning as we win the distance. Anyways, that's it from me today. If you liked our video and today's content, make sure to like it below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund. We stream every now and then, and you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.